Hi, my name is CK and you are at the Populace. Let me tell you the opinion over here. It's not the popular kind. But if you're looking for a place to engage in conversation about regular things, regularly, and regular people, then I'm your regular host and it's a great pleasure to make your acquaintance. The Populace hosts conversations that encourage hope and inspire healing. Why? Because life, as we know it, dictates there will always be problems, we'll always run into challenges and bad experiences. And whether we like it or not, we are bound to end up in some dark place in our lives. And as the Setswana saying goes, "Molemo wa kgang ke go buiwa," which loosely translates to things are always better talked out. And so here is a platform to share ideas and share experiences in hopes of making each other feel better and as well help each other succeed. Somebody once said, there is no amount of hard work or determination or effort or focus that brings about success unless it aligns with your purpose. Because, purpose is the essence of life, and life without purpose is absolutely meaningless. Although living a meaningful and purposeful life takes regard to being in the right place at the right time. Some people call it luck, being in the right place at the right time. But if I can quote Seneca, a renowned philosopher, he says, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, which essentially means being ready and prepared for the opportunities that we seek in this life. Ultimately, the goal is to find out what the talent and the gift is, because the multiplication of that is really what living a meaningful and purposeful life is. Being in the right place at the right time is cornerstone to clutching onto those opportunities that are meant for you. Here's a little story, okay? One time, fresh out of high school, my mother thinks that I'm just bored and idle, and so she sends me visiting my aunt who was working in a not a nearby village. It was like a 300 kilometers away village. But I go there, and so my aunt is not much older. She's just like a few years older than me. She just started work and was settling down and all of that. And so my mother thinks, she calls her up and thinks that it would be a good idea if I go visiting with her. And I do just that. One time, a lady comes by and would spend the night at our house. And the reason for that was because she was attending a funeral. And so hosted at the house by my aunt's housemate. On the night this woman comes by, my aunt happens to be not around, and the host as well. So I find myself alone with this very woman. Now she's locked up in her room, and literally didn't get to see her when she came by. I was just told my aunt briefed me that, okay, so that we have a guest and all of that, make yourself scarce in the bathroom, especially in the morning, that sort of thing, like just getting things in order. And so I didn't get to see the woman. And so I'm just there alone in the house. I'm doing what I usually do, just watch TV, play music, eat food, that kind of thing. But I remember at some point, that there's a guest in this house, right? And I'm just like, okay, I don't know the guest, and the guest is not. She's like, I'm just locked up and whatnot. Being the Herero girl that I was at the time, and also having brought up in this house where visitors are treated like royalty, like kingdom queens and kings. I don't get it. My mother treats guests and visitors like, I think it's just like every African home really, where guests and visitors are treated like royalty. And growing up, for some weird reason, we just always had visitors at home. And so that immediately kicks in, when I'm stuck with this lady. So I went and knocked on her door, and I think I offered her food or something like that. And I asked if she needed anything, that type of thing. And she declined, and she told me that she was sorted and that, I didn't need to worry about anything, right? So then I'll go back to the living room, sit and chill, watch TV. But later on, maybe just like about an hour later, I'm still kind of bothered because I haven't offered my service to this woman. I haven't served her in any way. I haven't made her feel like a proper guest, right? The little way that I know. And so I go, about an hour later, I go knocking on the door. This time around, I'm offering entertainment. I tell her that I have a great CD that I think she would enjoy. And it was a Benjamin Dube High Praise Explosion. I think it was that. I Feel Like Going Home CD. So my aunt's CD, it wasn't mine. And so I go knocking and I offer that, and she lets me in and literally, greets me and all of that. Sweet woman, amazing woman, really. And so, and I think she was just like, kind of, maybe just like, maybe surprised a little bit with my insistence, with my persistence, with her getting stuff from me, that kind of thing. I could tell really the energy that she gave when I went into the room. So I give her the CD and then I just like go back to the living room to continue watching the TV that was. And just about a few minutes later, I hear Adonai Yahweh. Like Adonai Yahweh is the 5th song on that album, but I hear it blasting. And a few minutes later, I'm hearing it again and again and again. And so she literally had it on repeat, which means she really enjoyed that one. So I am relieved. I hear that this woman is now home and she's comfortable and she's, relaxed. She's enjoying music, and I feel like I have serviced her and I've played a little part in her life there. When she leaves, this woman leaves her number and instructs my aunt to have me call her. And we did just that, my aunt and I. Few months later, I would enroll at the university for my first degree, and I get in touch with this woman. As a matter of fact, I'm not telling the story right. The reason this woman gave out her contact was not really just because she thought I was the most amazing girl, as she said, that she'd met, but also because she thought I would make an incredible daughter-in-law. She has a son pretty much my age, and that. So months later, as at the university, a little comfortable, I get in touch and I tell her that I've already started school and whatnot. So now I'm like a little independent, whole, woman on my own, so I can do my thing, right? And so she would get her son to contact me, and we get in touch with the son. The son comes over to visit some time later, and we get acquainted. Wonderful boy, just like mommy, and all of that. And I think we had just like a very good vibe going on. Okay, it was really sweet. One of those strangest things to happen, where the mother is setting up her son and all of that, and with you kind of thing. It was like a movie thing happening to me, and I like that. Okay, so the son came and we got acquainted and we had a very good vibe. I think they're generally just good people, and so the son had a very nice good vibe. But there was 2 things that I knew neither my mother nor myself would be comfortable with. 1, he was a smoker, and 2, he had red locks. And so I don't even remember the conversation we had, honestly. I don't remember what we said to each other, but I know that just didn't go further than the encounter at the university. I think that it was my bad on my part to not just keep in touch. I mean, particularly with the mother, regardless of that. Back to being in the right place at the right time. I have the opinion that relationships that are formulated at a very tender age tend to last long. And that is because 2 people meet genuinely and authentically based off pure like for each other. And whatever it is that develops without any expectation. just purely based off just that energy that is exchanged between two people that like each other. That's it. And, the people tend to also just like kind of grow together and just figure things out together. And statistics show actually that the most lasting relationships are relationships that are formulated when, people are very young, when they first meet. That's what it is. And so when I look back and I think perhaps, that could have been just like like a whole better, like I would have cut the dreads off or helped with the smoking. I don't know. But in any case, I'm just thinking that I was just in the wrong place at the right time. Being in the right place at the right time, it only means that your mind, body, and soul agree when an opportunity is in front of you. There is no way that you would get an opportunity that is probably suitable for your heart. Your heart feels like, okay, this is it. When your mind is in disagreement, it's not going to happen. Being in the right place at the right time essentially means your whole entire being agrees with it. Your mind, your body, and your soul are all in agreement, and your entire being can work, together to materialize whatever it is that you have in front of you as an opportunity. Every single person is born with a talent, is born with a gift. And it is these talents and gifts that are meant to multiply us, that are meant to help us grow and flourish and become the very best that we can and fulfill our purpose in life. A lot of us lack the courage, we lack the motivation, we lack the right conditioning to go after which that we are born with, that which we know we can do. And so half the time we are less successful than we would like, and we are not flourishing, that we're not growing. And that sometimes brings a little bit frustration. Sometimes it brings a little bit of, self beat down, that sort of thing. And sometimes extreme cases, it leads to that stagnancy that I did mention, and just like now getting a whole bad outlook on life, and then just going the wrong route in doing things because we feel very less fulfilled, we feel very less accomplished, and just like we're not going anywhere. It is probably my job to tell you that life is not fair. But you already know that. So I'm going to tell you this instead. Hope is precious, and you are right for not giving up. And on that note, this is the Populace. I will see you later.